Oh, hey there. Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Isetta Central. We've got 3 red Isettas in the shop today. One is this cabriolet you're looking at here. We've got another one tucked away in the corner back in here with the tropical door. Notice it does not have the vents on it. Wait, I should introduce myself. I'm Mark, and this is the 2-stroke turbo channel. And you're in for a whole eye full of Isetta stuff today, because Isettas really do make the world go round if you're lucky enough to have one in your life. So this is a cabriolet that I worked on really hard before the big show in June. So it would have been second week in June. I went to the owner and he literally drove the wheels off this thing. It came in and there was an oil stain. I think I might have showed you in a prior video, basically from here back. And I told him that the road draft tube was missing and that it might leak some oil. I think we dodged a bullet because he almost ran out of oil. So the road draft tube that I'm referring to is this silver guy, this pipe that connects to the side of the engine. And what happens is when the engine is rotating quickly, like they do, oil will try to make its way out that open hole if it doesn't have a tube on it. The tube creates kind of like a restriction, vacuum, I don't know, it's a road draft tube. Seems to keep the oil in the engine. His fell off or got lost or something, and I warned him about it, but I did not expect the whole side of the car to be blasted with oil. I have since cleaned the car of the oil residue. We have replaced the brake drum. We have cleaned up the speedometer. I put a new bezel on it, a new chrome bezel. It looks great. We're working on the horn. There's still an issue with that. He says that it honks sometimes going left. And we got a gas valve to put in and a couple of just itty bitty things. So I'm draining the gas right now so I can put the gas valve in, because you got to basically take all the gas out of the tank to do that. The gas valve, if you're not familiar with on an Isetta, is right here behind the back seat. It's just like a motorcycle. You've got on, off, and reserve. And this one has been giving him some issues. So we're going to replace that. And I think that's it. There was a few other little things. Oh, this grommet had fallen away or lost. So we got that on there. This is a 1957 or 58 BMW Isetta Cabriolet. And the Cabriolet section is down, so you get plenty of airflow. There's some differences with these cars. I'm realizing that the Cabriolets have stamped steel brake drums, not cast iron, which is crazy. I don't know why they would change that. So we're working on this car today, doing some engine service. It's going well. And we're also working on the third Isetta, which I alluded to is stuffed in the corner over there. This one has a white top. This is Ima. And we've got Ima's heart out for some repairs. You guys have been following along. Ima was an oil burner, big time. So we're going to resolve that. What we did, you can see here, is we took the old piston out of Ima. This is the old piston. It's an older style piston. In other words, it's got this expansion slot on the side, which is new to me. I guess for older guys, that's not that big of a deal. But I worry about that because you can see oil can get right up and through there. Maybe if everything is in good shape, that's fine. But the oil ring, when I found it, which is the ring closest to that slot, the gap was just like that. So oil was basically coming up the slot and bypassing the oil ring. And you can see that sort of in the pattern on the top of the, see how it makes like this kind of a heart shape, black carbon there, and it's clean around the edges. Typically means it's burning a lot of oil and it's coming from the piston. Now this piston, which is interesting, has a lot of scuffs on it. It's like dirt got into the engine. You see those scuffs on there? And it's even up into the ring area in some places. I don't understand, because that usually means that there's been no oil, air filter on the engine or something, and it didn't transfer to the cylinder walls. The cylinder walls didn't look too bad, but the crosshatch on the cylinder was bad. It was too coarse. So I've got it now honed. I took it to the machine shop. We have a new piston. It's a new old stock Molly, and it looks speckled or bad. It's a brand new old stock Molly piston. It's German and it's a little larger. So it's a 72.5 millimeter, and this one was about a 1/4 millimeter or so smaller. So we bored it out just a touch, cleaned it up, and we're going to put the new piston on and hope for the best. Let's show you the cylinder head. You can see it's all oily. I have been through this thing a million times trying to figure out where the oil was coming from. It does not appear that it was coming from the intake valve, even though the intake valves on Isettas do not have any type of a positive valve stem lock or seal. They have nothing, but that's just the way they are. And they typically don't burn oil. So we got the engine block up here. I've got a rag stuffed down in here so that when I scrape this gasket that I'm replacing, the base gasket, it doesn't go inside. It does have the steel connecting rod, which is great. And we're working on the clutch. And it's kind of funny, there's a big old dink in the flywheel there. I don't understand how that could happen. Looks like a new flywheel, but it's got a big dink in it. And we've got the clutch parts down here on the ground. Ima was not happy with her clutch. You can see the plate, I put a question mark on it. Pretty rough. The friction disc was falling off of Ima's clutch disc, both sides. We have a brand new one. We have a brand new plate, and we have a new pie plate as well. So Ima's clutch is going to get all spiffed up. We're going to reuse the spring and the spacer. So that's what's going on. I'll be putting this together and then putting that into the car, and we'll fire it up. You guys will be along for the first fire up. And let's hope she doesn't smoke, because smoking Isettas are no fun. So sorry we got stuff spread out on the floor, but just ran out of room. And so many Isettas, so little time.